Smarkoutmoment
Talk podcast.
from
I am your host, as
Joel,
always, Tony Mango,
2019,
and joining me, as always, are
Maybe it was
Robert
18.
Police
Hello.
and Callum Wiggins.
It's been a hell of a ride, so.
Probably 18.
Yes, there is a somber tone going on right now. This is the second time I started recording this because I originally had a different beginning of this podcast. If you have followed Smarkoutmoment for a while, you should know that at least by now there's always criticism that we're too negative, or no, you guys don't like anything or whatever like that. But that's from people that just want to bitch and complain. And even going into certain events that we think could be horrible, there's still some arguments for things that could be better. There's still, well, at least this is good, at least this, whatever like that. I have to be perfectly upfront and honest with everybody. I am more annoyed with WWE at this moment right now than I was when I stopped watching wrestling for a 6-year period. And there is a very, very solid chance this is the final pay-per-view point post-show, maybe the final Smack Talk. There is a chance that I sell or completely get rid of Smarkoutmoment because I am beyond frustrated with WWE in a lot of different ways. And before we get into some of the specifics of why, I will say, for anybody that does want to say, oh, you don't like fucking NXT, whatever like that, NXT has been amazing. And the Mae Young Classic was fantastic. And Evolution surpassed a lot of what I was looking at it as potentially being. I mean, I crapped all over the Riot Squad against Sasha, Bayley, and Natalya. When push came to shove, it was like, the match was better than I was expecting it to be. I went into Crown Jewel thinking this event was going to be a little frustrating, but at least the worst thing about it would be all the negativity surrounding it. Did not imagine that WWE would be so damn stupid enough to actually not even double down on the negativity, but I'm getting this feeling that they almost wanted to sabotage the company from within over the past couple weeks. 2018 has been an incredibly frustrating year as a WWE fan. 2017 had its issues, but 2018 was supposed to be the year to fix those issues. And I feel heading at the end of this year, it's November 2nd, and I feel like if this entire year didn't happen in WWE, and we just ended 2017 with the level of frustration I had with the end of 2017, it would still be better. And we're going to talk about what happened at Crown Jewel. We're going to talk top to bottom about it. But I will remove any comment from anybody that says this is just like complaining for the sake of complaining. I will automatically remove any comment that says you shouldn't be upset. What did you expect WWE to do? I'm going to remove any comment that says anything that kind of implies the idea that you can't have an opinion about something that is supposed to be an entertainment form. Because let's face it, if you watch something for entertainment purposes, you go into it wanting to be entertained. And the best equivalent I can put out there for this, and it doesn't ring true for everybody because if you don't watch those series, you wouldn't know.
Too much of a crybaby. Come on now.
The Last Jedi killed my fandom of Star Wars. And ever since, The Force Awakens put it on shaky foundation. Rogue One didn't really help too much. Last Jedi ruined it. Solo just went, oh yeah, okay, alright, well, that's it. I was a fan of the Arrow show for a couple seasons or so. Got to a point where I got way too frustrated with the direction that they were going, stopped watching Arrow. This past week, I watched the second episode of Legends of Tomorrow, and I was like, you know what, I'm done watching Legends of Tomorrow. There's certain things where you reach a point where you just stop wanting to watch anything anymore because that level of entertainment value that what you are your side of the commitment of this fan and creator interaction is, if you don't find it entertaining anymore, you stop tuning into that entertainment product. And if anybody that was listening to Smack Talk and checking out Smarkoutmoment didn't find it a worthwhile podcast and website anymore, it would make perfect sense for them to go, I'm going to go find another website. There's plenty of other websites out there. That's my job, to inform you in a fun way that's entertaining and stuff, and to keep you tuning in. So I take that very seriously, and that's why I wanted to start this off with something that seems very somber, and it seems very, this is 6 minutes of me rambling about this kind of stuff right now, but I wanted to put that out there before we get into everything else like that, because I'm going to try my best to make this a fun post show, but I am beyond annoyed at what's happening right now. And I will also actually be transparent about this too. I haven't been having the past couple of weeks. I have a lot of this stuff happening behind the scenes, between being overworked, having a family member in the hospital. It's not turning out all that well. I've gotten lots of just frustrating things going on. So this is almost the straw that broke the camel's back, and I apologize for the negativity that I'm going to put out there. But I'm going to try to make it fun.
At least you're trying, pal.
Okay. So let's start talking about Crown Jewel, and again, I'm going to start off with negativity.
Can't wait to hear this burial.
Kickoff. David Otunga, Booker T, Jonathan Coachman, standing in front of a horrible fake green screen set that they have. They use this for different shows here and there. What do you guys think about that? Is that something that is good enough that you can just excuse that it's CGI and everything, or is that the type of thing where it's just put a solid background and don't try to act like it's a physical location?
Yeah, I thought it looked weird, but I kind of excused it because it was just the pre-show for this show, and that was the most inconsequential thing out of a show that was pretty bland for the most part, except for
I
that
can't
one
even hear
thing.
it, so I'm sure the camera's not picking it up.
I don't know. It was fine for what it was, but it did look a little less than professional.
Did you get a chance to check this out, Callum? I know you said before that your schedule didn't quite line up with the kickoff.
Well, fortunately, I've been sick for the last few days, so I wasn't at work. So I didn't, well, I say fortunately. It doesn't really seem very fortunate coming out of the actual show. But,
You get the pleasure of sitting through this garbage and being sick.
I know. I couldn't imagine I felt worse after than I did going into it. But here we are. The green screen stuff, it looks quite chintzy and doesn't seem to have cost them a lot of money. Then again, they're putting money into pyro and stuff like that for sort of shows like this, so I guess they can't really afford it too much. The panel itself is probably three of my least favourite people in terms of the WWE broadcasting team. Coach, who's never should have come back to WWE, Otunga, who's never had a real role in WWE since he stopped being his lawyer character, and Booker T, who's funny but basically incomprehensible most of the time. Were those three actually flown out to Saudi Arabia?
No, I don't know.
I get the
They
feeling
said
they
they
did
were
it
in the
from
studio.
Stanford. Yeah.
They said they were in the studio from Stanford, and I'll say this is a good role for Coach. I think that's a role that fits him well. Otunga, not trying to be mean. I don't want to be a dick, but I'm surprised he's still employed. I don't know, they never really did much with him. He's never.
I say before all of you, I spoke the truth. Sean Connery entered our home. He attacked me.
The accusation is false.
I request a duel to the death. I am risking my life for you.
You are risking my life so you can save your pride.
against him well. Otanga, not trying to be mean. I don't want to be a dick, but I'm surprised he's still employed. I don't know, like, they never really did much with him. He's never been great as a commentator, and yeah, I don't know why he's there. Booker I can understand, because he's, you know, such a character that it's funny, but I don't get Otanga.
And Booker is a Hall of Famer, he's a legend, he's a former 6-time world champion. So he's got credibility behind him, and he's kind of like the crazy guy a little bit. You know, like the Chucky Ducky Quack Quack and stuff like that. Like, it's fun when Booker gets all Booker T and, you know, acts like a fucking fool. Otanga, he's not somebody who has any kind of real lineage behind him. He's not a real good analyst as far as being able to provide, like, worthwhile insight. He's not the biggest, most charismatic talker. He's not the most bombastic character. Really, like, what is his purpose, kind of?
To be there.
Now he's not with Jennifer Hudson anymore. I don't really see the purpose at all.
Yeah.
I
So,
don't-
that's...
You don't want anyone to lose their job, but
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing. Like,
yeah.
I have nothing against Otanga.
Put him in their legal department or something. He's got a Harvard law degree. He must be good at that job.
Right.
He
Like,
just
Otanga's whole situation with his wife, or when they were doing the whole, like, divorce and she was making shit up and stuff,
Yeah,
like, totally...
yeah, she's a bitch, you know, I mean...
Totally in support of Otanga for that, and it's like, I've nothing against the guy. The guy's not nothing to, like, annoy me personally or something like that, but it's like, you know, just the same as if somebody's not a good wrestler, and it's kind of like, well, they could get rid of, I don't know, who's somebody who's, like, so inconsequential on the card right now, like, like, the Ascension hasn't worked out. If they got rid of Connor and Victor, I would hope that they would have a really successful career in Impact or Ring of Honor or doing the Indies, or, you know, if they want to go into real estate, Like, I have nothing against the Ascension. I actually wanted them to be something for a while, but they're not the biggest deal in the world. So if they were to get released, it would be like, okay, well, like, hopefully they can figure it out, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. And Otanga is the type of person that I've never understood why he's been on the broadcast team. So you put him in front of a green screen that looks awful like that, and you spend 45 minutes worth of an hour to go, hey, we didn't put all that effort into this card, but if you want to check out the repeat of the 5th time that AJ Styles and Samoa Joe are feuding over the same goddamn thing, here's the video again, and if you don't watch it, we'll show it to you later anyway. Kickoffs are the most fucking annoying thing on pay-per-views, just the fact that they exist. They shouldn't. There's no point in kickoff. If you don't watch Raw and you don't watch SmackDown, you don't care enough to want to watch the pre-show, and you're not going to check out all that information that you need to be filled in on. You know? And if you are the type of person that really, like, man, I really wish that I could watch Raw and SmackDown, and I can't. I can only watch pay-per-views, and I don't have enough time to watch the kickoff ahead of time. You can watch the recap footage on WWE's YouTube channel. You can check it out on the WWE Network. You can watch WWE Now. There's plenty of ways for you to do that. We don't need kickoffs anymore. It's a waste. We got Shinsuke Nakamura defending the United States title against Rusev, because they remembered that Shinsuke Nakamura was somebody. He has wrestled, I think, 3 times since he retained that United States Championship at SummerSlam. I think it's 3 times.
Yeah. It was a match. You know, they did things. Shinsuke hit a low blow, and a nice Kinshasa. It was just which I'm glad that Shinsuke's getting used. I mean, he's supposed to be going into a thing with Ray. Maybe that'll be good, or at least lead to some decent matches. Yeah.
The match was pretty much forgettable. I slightly interesting because I thought as soon as Rusev put it into the accolade that they might actually pull the trigger and just try and do a title change because let's face it, Shinsuke Nakamura's actually done nothing with the championship and it wouldn't hurt at all to put it onto Rusev. But then they did the thing where Shinsuke put his head up into Rusev's like balls and he the Kinshasa out of it. I thought that was a creative way to implement Nakamura's love of hitting people with testicles.
Yeah, that really seemed to pop Renee Young. Like, she got a huge chuckle out of the way he chose.
Well, I hope he didn't pop Rusev because that would be dangerous.
Hey, not good for Lana. Yeah, you know, it was fine.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you can really say about it. It was just a match on the show for a championship that was rarely defended, or the champion rarely said.
I was actually worried that they were going to give the belt to Rusev, and I mean, this is one of those scenarios where I hate saying, like, WWE, like, alright, this is going to be one of the first rants that I'm going to do. WWE fucking puts themselves in these positions where you have to dislike something that you like because it's the thing that makes the most sense, because if you liked the thing that you liked, then it wouldn't make any sense, and then I'm going to talk in circles here, but it's kind of like Shinsuke Nakamura has sucked as United States Champion because they didn't give him anything to do. And I'm going to be writing up an article about this probably, I don't know, we'll see, about how they should have been able to fix this and save Nakamura. Rusev is the type of guy that at the beginning of the year he was getting over really well with this whole Rusev Day thing, and they waited months before they put him into a babyface position. Why? Because apparently they were saying, we want him to be a heel. Fuck you. That's been a big issue with WWE the past year and a little bit past, past couple of years, where they're like, we want this. It doesn't matter if the person is over in a different way. We want to do X, Y, Z, and we're going to ruin things if we have to, just to make sure that we do that. So Rusev lost a lot of the momentum. He still has some of it, but he lost a lot of it. And if they would have put the title on him back when he was actually getting cheered at, like, the top of the card, he could have been a fantastic United States champion. Of course, they didn't do that. So Nakamura and Rusev are in a position here